Coming up, the new vaccine sites the state is opening in partnership with the federal government to help test a new approach to the rollout. Here in San Diego, how the city is jumping in to help with distribution and free up appointments at county sites. And a community looking for answers and speaking out against hate after Black Lives Matter signs were targeted by vandals. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. I'm Virginia Cha. I am joined remotely by my co-anchor Jim Patton, as well as 10 News meteorologist Megan Perry. Great to see you guys, and we're going to hear from them just a moment. But let's get started with this. California now getting a boost from the Biden administration to vaccinate this most populous state in the country. In just the last hour, Governor Newsom announced a new pilot partnership to create 100 federally run community vaccination sites during the president's first 100 days in office. And Los Angeles and Oakland are first in line.
The whole idea is to speed up the throughput, the efficiency, maintain an equitable lens in terms of the application and distribution of the vaccines. Equity is the call of this moment.
The governor also talked about the state's vaccination notification app called My Turn. He says the pilot program San Diego and LA have been testing is weeks away from a statewide rollout.
The pilot's been operational for 2 weeks. It's been a success. The app will be made available as we believe, the most comprehensive end-to-end application of its type of any state in this country.
As for those two federal sites at Oakland A Stadium and Cal State LA, Governor Newsom says when they are fully up and running, they will administer 6,000 doses a day. Now, the city of San Diego is also doing their part to help with vaccine distribution. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Coronel shows us how they're supporting the county's efforts to get vaccines into people's arms.
In an effort to free up vaccine appointments at county clinics, the city has set up its own vaccination site, but this is specifically for government workers who fall under the state and county criteria.
This is not for members of the public. This is for those individuals who are connected somehow with the city. We are acting as a force multiplier for the county.
And just like the county vaccination clinics, this city site operates by appointment only. All of those that meet the criteria were notified by the city last week.
We sent them an email with a link so that they can get in and schedule.
City officials say they were allotted 1,200 COVID-19 doses from the county. While majority of those will be given at this site in Balboa Park, there are 100 that were sent to the convention center. Those will go to the individuals that are eligible for the vaccine and are homeless. Tuesday, Mayor Todd Gloria visited the Balboa Park site, and he hinted at the possibility of expanding the city's involvement in vaccine distributions. All of this dependent on the availability of vaccines.
My hope is that as we show our ability to efficiently and effectively vaccinate people here at this site, that we will be given more doses that we can pass out at this location and at other locations around the city.
Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Well, meanwhile, local colleges now opening up their own sites to help with vaccine distribution. Monday, UCSD opening up a so-called super center. It'll be a walk-up site, unlike others that we've seen where people can drive up. Also, the UCSD location will focus on helping UC San Diego health patients as well as eligible faculty and staff. Appointments are required. And SDSU says it's received 300 doses and will begin vaccinating eligible faculty members and students this week. They're going to reach out to those who qualify so that they can make appointments. And officials say they want to start setting up infrastructure for when they eventually do get more doses. County's fourth vaccine super station in La Mesa opened for business. Sharp Healthcare, which manages that site, hopes to give 2,000 doses a day through the weekend. Won't know how many it can give next week until the new shipment of vaccines comes in on Monday or Tuesday. Now, we know there are a lot of questions and different experiences with the vaccine rollout. Our ABC 10 News in-depth team committed to tracking down answers and sharing your stories. Send us an email, tips@10news.com.
Well, Black Lives Matter signs vandalized at 2 locations in Hillcrest, part of a series of acts that are now being investigated as hate crimes. ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie has the call from local leaders to figure out who did this.
And let me be very clear. It may take us a little longer than we want, but we'll get you, and we will hold you responsible for what you do. because this does not stand in San Diego.
This is the photo police, the city attorney, and Mayor Todd Gloria want you to see. A person of interest in the vandalism of Black Lives Matter signs at separate locations in Hillcrest, and the removal of these rainbow doors in front of the University Christian Church, not once but twice in less than 2 weeks. Mayor Gloria and others standing in front of those doors to condemn acts they say amount not just to vandalism, but to hate. One site, Rich's nightclub, had its sign vandalized last week as well. Paint splattered across the sign proclaiming Black Lives Still Matter. The locations, according to City Council President Pro Tem Stephen Whitburn, not a coincidence.
This is an area that for decades has been a refuge for those who have felt unwelcome at other parts of our city, but who found a community here. That sense of safety was violated.
The senior pastor at the church, Caleb Lines, says 6 doors painted in rainbow colors adorned with the phrase, "God's doors are always open," were ripped from the columns, first on January 24th, when they were lovingly replaced by the community, removed again just last night. He says the supportive response and the quick action by police has been overwhelming, but the acts are heartbreaking.
This vandalism is emblematic of a deep divide in our country, where some people do not believe that Black Lives Matter or that LGBTQ plus lives have value.
The photo from police is again of a person of interest taken January 24th, just before 5 a.m. on University Avenue. They're asking for the public's help identifying who this person is. Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.
We have some breaking news out of Springfield, Virginia. You're looking live at a fire connected to a gas leak. Several workers reportedly injured, multiple vehicles on fire. You can see how dangerous this situation is. This is about 14 miles southwest of Washington, D.C. The road has been blocked off. Now, reports about this started coming in about an hour ago. Until they shut that gas off, that's going to be difficult to deal with. We will keep an eye on this story for you, and of course, we'll keep you posted. Well, experts say the next 6 weeks of distributing COVID-19 vaccines will be crucial to stemming the number of cases in the U.S. and fending off new variants. But across the country, officials are facing obstacles in distributing this vaccine and meeting the demand. ABC's Mary Alice Parks has the latest.
Across the country, an urgent call for more vaccines and equal access. Local Virginia officials saying hundreds of older adults eligible for the vaccine are frustrated there are not more shots available.
It's heartbreaking when people want the vaccine and are unable to get it.
In Texas, this mobile clinic trying to get COVID-19 vaccines to neighborhoods too often overlooked.
I was hoping this really just helped people who didn't have the ability to get transportation to some of the other vaccination sites.
The vaccine rollout is ramping up nationwide, but as of Tuesday, fewer than 8% of Americans have gotten at least one dose of the vaccine.
Due to the current supply constraints, this will be limited when it begins, making sure that we are picking pharmacies in that first phase that are located in areas that are harder to reach, to ensure that we have equitable distribution.
In California, early evidence that white residents are more likely to receive the vaccine so far. The potentially life-saving vaccines cannot come soon enough. The virus still taking thousands of American lives every day. Just 5 days after celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, Sally and Manny Montaño passed away, the two dying within seconds of each other. Their family saying they lived for one another.
And it was the way that they would have wanted it, and it just showed the depth of their love for one another.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the White House chief medical advisor, says that even though there's a rise in those COVID-19 variants, they're still not dominant in the cases we're seeing. He says the best way to protect against them, get vaccinated, wear your mask, and socially distance. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, New York.
And overnight, Dr. Fauci also talking about the nationwide vaccine rollout and what it's going to take for things to get back to normal. He says 70 to 85% of the population needs to be vaccinated.
If you can get people protected and get an umbrella of what we call herd immunity, the level of infection is going to go very, very low down in the community and in society. And at that point, the entire community could start getting back to normal.
Now, so far, about 2% of the population is fully vaccinated. Another 26 million are waiting for their second dose. Well, still some debate about dosing schedules here in the U.S. as the rollout continues, but in the U.K., promising new data about the vaccine they've been using. UK decided to delay the second dose for millions and instead focus on giving out one dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Well, now the University of Oxford is saying that that drug has still proven to be effective under the altered dosing schedule. For some of the UK, the second dose has been delayed by as much as 3 months. During that wait time, researchers say the AstraZeneca vaccine has shown to be about 76% effective.